Mark Zuckerberg went on the Joe Rogan show to whine like a little beta cuck about how Joe Biden was so mean to him, and that is what has forced them to get rid of fact-checking and fire everyone that they had hired to work on diversity, equity, inclusion at the company, and change his outfit and change how he dresses. All of this was because Joe Biden was just too mean to him and was trying to stifle the free speech on his platform. It's all bullshit.
In this video, Tim Miller rips Mark Zuckerberg for whining like a beta on Joe Rogan. Mark Zuckerberg goes on Joe Rogan to complain about how the Biden administration was so mean to him, blaming government pressure for his platform's decisions. He acts like he had no choice but to follow the demands, and he claims it was brutal. So make sure to watch till the end to see how Tim Miller rips apart Mark Zuckerberg for whining like a beta on Joe Rogan's show.
Let's go through it. Here's the clip.
These people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse, and it's like these documents it's all kind of out there.
Did you record any of those phone calls?
I don't think we.
All right, so here's what we got. Mark Zuckerberg is claiming that some Biden administration bureaucrats were screaming and cursing at his underlings, demanding that they take down stuff he didn't want to take down, but that he felt pressured by the Biden administration to stifle people's speech. This is just all nonsense. How do we know it's nonsense? For starters, let's look at what Joe Rogan asked him to follow up. Oh, we want some audio. Oh, we want some audio? Want some proof? No. We have no proof. We have no proof. Okay? We have no proof that this happened. But here's the thing. Even if it did happen, so what? Have some balls, Mark Zuckerberg. Why are you putting this all on some random government bureaucrat? What were they going to do? Take away your mansion? Take away your yacht? Like, if you really wanted to defend the meme rights of COVID vaccine deniers, then you could have done it. You can't take some cursing. We don't even know if the cursing happened, but your staffers can't take being cursed at. You have unlimited money. You have unlimited power. You're one of the richest people in the world. Right now, you are talking to the biggest media star in the world. You have unlimited platforms to communicate. If you felt like the government was making unfair demands on you, you could have just said so. You could have posted. You could have gone on Joe Rogan. You could have called up Joe Biden yourself and said, hey there, Sleepy Joe. Go pound sand. I want people to be able to post about ivermectin as much as they want. You could have done any of that. Joe, bring it. Bring me a court order, Joe. Go to the Supreme Court. Bring me a court order. If you were a real tough guy, a jiu-jitsu MMA tough guy, Mark Zuckerberg, you could have stood up to these requests from random bureaucrats. You didn't do it. You folded before there was ever even any real pressure on you. They didn't come for you. Your company stock just was going up. The whole Biden administration. Your net worth was going up. The whole Biden administration.
Now Zuckerberg just goes full victim mode on Rogan, claiming Biden officials were screaming and cursing at his team, pressuring them to censor content. But Tim Miller just immediately calls out his BS. First of all, where's the proof? Joe Rogan even asks if there's any recording, any actual evidence, and Zuck's just got nothing. So let's get this straight. He's claiming a government conspiracy, but didn't bother documenting it? Convenient. And even if it did happen, Tim points out how pathetic it is for one of the richest, most powerful men on the planet to act like some mid-level bureaucrats hurt his feelings. What was Biden gonna do? Take away his billions? Steal his yacht? If Zuck was such a free speech warrior, he could have told them to go pound sand. Instead, he folded without a fight. And the funniest part of this? Nothing bad even happened to him. Facebook stock was thriving under Biden. His network just kept skyrocketing. So what exactly was so brutal about this? Tim just sees right through it. Zuck is just rewriting history to fit whatever narrative is popular now.
At the end of the here, let's watch this. Let's watch this clip.
And then at some point, I guess, I don't know, it flipped a bit. I mean, Biden, when he gave some statement at some point, I don't know if it was a press conference or to some journalists, where he basically was like, these guys are killing people. And I don't know, then like all these different agencies and branches of government basically just like started investigating and coming after our company. It was brutal. It was brutal.
Wow.
It's brutal. Oh, it was brutal how the government came after you. Oh, really? How brutal was it? Donald Trump threatened to jail you.
Trump said something pretty scary for him. He said that if he finds out that he interfered with the election, he's going to be in jail for the rest of his life.
That's pretty scary.
That's pretty scary because it's very likely that he might wind up being the president. And if he winds up being the president, they start investigating this stuff. If I was Mark Zuckerberg, I'd be pretty fucking freaked out by that statement.
Threatened to jail you, Mark Zuckerberg. That's what Donald Trump threatened to do. In other countries, people that speak out against the government get thrown in cells. In Russia, they get pushed off of buildings. What was so brutal about it? What'd Biden do? A couple bureaucrats called your staffers and complained? That's what was your threat to free speech?
Pause. Are you getting tired of getting news from biased news sources? One outlet says one thing and another says the complete opposite? How are you supposed to know what's actually true? That's where ground news comes in. It lets you compare how different media outlets, whether it's left, right, or center, are covering the same story. So you can see the full picture instead of just the echo chamber. And here's the best part. Click the link in the description and get a 40% off the Vantage tier, which gives you even deeper insights in media bias and political trends. So stay informed, think for yourself, and check out ground news in the description down below.
Where's your big Chad muscles? Why didn't you say, okay, let's see it? Here's the truth. Does everybody want to know the truth of what happened? Mark Zuckerberg is a corporate whore that just wants money and power. And in 2016, when it was in vogue to go after disinformation and to try to tamp down all the crap that went on his platform because people did not expect the Donald Trump win, he wanted to do that. When Black Lives Matter happened and it was in vogue to focus on racial equity, he did that. When COVID started, when people were scared for their lives, and it was in vogue to try to make sure that people only got good information about this developing pandemic, he went along with that. When there was a backlash to that, he went along with the backlash. When Donald Trump gets elected again, and now it's a moment to pretend like you're a free speech advocate, he's going along with that. That's all. Mark Zuckerberg has never stood up for anything in his life. Mark Zuckerberg had the opportunity from 2020 to 2024 to say, you know what, Joe Biden, I don't like these recommendations that are coming down from the feds. By the way, I might have agreed with him. I don't know. I'm sure that there were some stupid bureaucrats putting out some stupid memos. He could have said, okay, let's challenge it. Bring me to court. Take me to court. But I'm going to do what I think is right on my platform. He never did that. If Mark Zuckerberg is mad at anyone right now, if Mark Zuckerberg was a real man and he really believed that there were some mistakes made in 2022 and that he was too overzealous on COVID.
And Zuckerberg just keeps crying about how brutal the Biden administration was to him. But Tim just isn't buying it for a second. What was his so-called brutality? A couple of bureaucrats complaining to his staff? Meanwhile, Trump literally threatened to throw him in jail for life. So let's get this straight. Biden brutalized you by criticizing your platform, but Trump saying he'd lock you up for life doesn't even register? Then Tim just cuts through the BS. Zuckerberg isn't just free speech warrior. He's a corporate tool who just chases trends. When disinformation crackdowns were in vogue, he went all in. When racial equity was trending, he pushed that. Now that the right is screaming about censorship, suddenly he's a free speech absolutist. It's not about principles, it's about power and money. And here's the real kicker. Zuckerberg never even fought back. If he actually thought the Biden administration was overstepping, he could have challenged it. He could have taken it to court, stood his ground, and done whatever he wanted with his limitless resources. But he didn't. Zuckerberg just follows whatever direction the wind is blowing. And now that the tides have shifted, he's pretending to be a victim. Tim just sees right through it. And honestly, it's just embarrassing to watch.
You know, I'm putting up messages, fact checks around COVID. If Mark Zuckerberg was a real man and just thought that he'd made some mistakes during the Biden era and, you know, that the company, you know, might have went a little bit overboard, you know, when it came to fact checking, then he could just say that. He could just say, you know what, guys, I looked at this and we thought that we could do what was right. We thought it'd make sense to have an outside fact checking team, but it turns out it was a bad call by me. I should have stuck to my guns. I didn't. We're going to change direction now. Okay. I mean, we could disagree. We could argue about the merits of that. That'd be something. But to go into Joe Rogan and be like, these bureaucrats forced me to do it. It was brutal. It was so brutal. Like, I'm a jujitsu man, but I can't handle a little cursing from a mid-level bureaucrat. I mean, give me a break. It is so pathetic, Mark Zuckerberg. Okay? Like, no, the Biden team didn't force you to do anything. You have power and a platform unimaginable by anybody in human history besides like 4 of your fellow big tech oligarchs. Like, you have power and reach and independence. Your company wasn't ever in threat.
And wrapping this up, Zuckerberg's whole victim act was just pathetic. He acts like Biden was out to destroy him. But when you take a look at the facts, nothing actually happened to him. Meanwhile, Trump literally threatened to jail him, and Zuck doesn't even seem to be bothered by that. Tim sees right through the nonsense. Zuckerberg has never stood for anything. He just follows whatever trend benefits him the most. Now that it's cool to play the free speech martyr, he acts like a brave dissenter. But when push comes to shove, he just folded without a fight. Anyways, if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and comment your thoughts down below.